Hey, welcome everybody to TraVek's podcast, Before the Hammer Strikes. I'm Bjorn Johnson, General Manager. Thank you for joining us, and we are really appreciative of our audience and all of you who listen. Today we've got a special guest, Tim Whittington from Schluter Systems. Tim, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's always nice to be here. You know, we get to be here for other events, but this is kind of different to be able to talk and just get to know each other as businesses a little bit. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's something new. And you've been around the block, but this is your first time coming on somebody's podcast.
100%.
Okay, we'll try not to make you nervous, and we'll try not to put you on the spot too much, but boy, it's always been a pleasure every time we get to engage with you, and so I'm excited to have you here today.
Well, it's passion for the business, you know. One of the neatest things that makes me excited is when I get a phone call from somebody that knows me from my past life and maybe ask a question that is not even Schluter related.
Yeah.
I love Schluter and what I do today, but it excites me when somebody calls me and uses my past experience to help them on a problem. It's always kind of exciting.
Absolutely, and we're going to get into Schluter, but I like that you brought that up. I'd love to hear a little bit, and I'm sure our audience would love to hear a little bit about your past, what you've done, and kind of how you got to where you're at now. Share with us a little bit about who you are and where you come from.
Well, born and raised in Illinois. I was born in Chicago, Illinois. Parents moved us out to the country. Okay. So I was raised in a little town called Manhattan, Illinois.
All right.
You get far enough west and you got to make sure you clarify when you say you're from Manhattan. They always think New York.
Yep.
Or, you know, I don't put Kansas in there or Illinois. They're littler towns. So Manhattan, Illinois is a very small town. Got into the flooring business when I was a young man. I learned how to install all types of flooring, and so I've kept with the trade. I decided to come to Arizona in 1997. Couldn't keep up with the guys here. I couldn't keep up with the installers here, so I went a different route. I became a customer service gentleman, and then I was supervision for a lot of years, and then I introduced Schluter showers to a few builders, and come full circle. About 10 years later, after using the system, they approached me, and now I happen to have that. So that fits into my scenario too.
Okay.
But it's pretty cool. I've been in the tile industry now for a lot of years.
A lot of years. Yep.
I don't want to try to do the math, but it's been a long time.
And it's interesting. I'm new to Arizona, so I've only been here, going on about a year and a half now. It seems like everybody's a transplant. You came from Chicago. There's a lot of people from the Midwest.
Especially back in the late 90s, early 2000s. I think it was mostly Chicago coming here.
Yeah.
But it is a great place.
It's a wonderful place. I'm from the Pacific Northwest, and so rains a lot there. There's a lot more sunshine down here, so it was a good fit for me. Now, at TraVek, something that we value a lot is quality, and we talk about the ultimate TraVek experience that we provide, and part of that is we can have that commitment because we know that we use better quality product, better installers. Our production team is better than the rest, and we can stand by the name TraVek that's been around for so long. Schluter's one of our partners.
Yep.
And we've made the decision to use you guys for our waterproofing but a lot of the people that are listening to this, they may not have heard of you. They may not even know what Schluter is, outside of they may have heard us talk about it when we're installing their shower or something.
Right,
so
right.
Give us kind of a skyscraper view on what is a Schluter system and where did that come from?
So Schluter Systems is a real man. Mr. Werner Schluter started Schluter Systems 1975. He started Schluter Tile, actually. Mr. Schluter in 7th grade decided that he picked the trade and became a tile setter and started learning in parochial school. When he graduated, he had to take a test in front of his peers, so he started Schluter Tile as a master tile setter in Iserlohn, Germany.
Wow.
Mr. Schluter has retired now, and his two sons run the company, Mark and Udo. But the great thing is, we create products to make tile last longer. So Mr. Schluter, as a master tile setter, was having issues with the edge of the tile getting chipped up. So he got with a friend that happened to be a stainless steel fabricator, and they bent a piece of metal, and it became the Schluter Sheener, which has been the first product, and now we have thousands of different profiles. But Schluter Systems, we come to a system approach for the tile industry. So back in the day, we would do shower systems with mud beds and liners and multiple products in that shower.
Right.
Today, we can give you a system using fully Schluter products. If there's ever a warranty issue, it's the two of us together that are going to meet on the job site and determine where the mistake was made, and we're going to fix it together. So there's not the finger point and everything that goes on. So it's a systems approach to the installation of your tile. Tile should last until we don't like it anymore.
Yeah.
Being new to Arizona, I would love for you to get to the downtown Phoenix post office. It's pretty neat. It has nothing to do with Schluter Systems. It's an old set installation method, but the tile is actually worn out. You can see where the traffic pattern is from the customers that go into the post office, but I couldn't find a cracked tile, couldn't find any cracked grout. And it's because the tile was done with a system.
Right.
So
yeah, and it's interesting to see architecture like that and workmanship like that. You talk about systems. Part of our audience are business owners, and part of our audience are homeowners that are just looking for great opportunities to work with great companies like yours. On the business side of things, part of what we talk about are systems. And you think about a company like Schluter that's been around for a long time. You think about a company like TraVek who's been around for a long time in the Valley. The reason why we're successful, we attribute that to our processes and our systems and our people, and how well our people fall into those systems and processes. And so if I'm a business owner and I'm listening to this currently, you brought up systems. What is it about a system that makes tile last for hundreds of years? Or what is it about a system that makes Schluter so much different than somebody else?
Well, it's a combination of things. I mean, we got to look at the movements that happen. Everything moves differently, so we have systems for uncoupling methods. You know, back many, many years ago, we would take and tamp sand beds down and put a bond coat on top of that, and the sand would allow for the movement to happen between the two different surfaces. You know, so that was a system. It was a sand set system. It was using multiple products, but it was still a system. It wasn't just bonding tile directly to a substrate.
Right.
And then, you know, in the 60s, we came out with thin set and we all just started bonding tile right to the substrate. Well, then whatever the substrate does, the tile does also.
Right.
So we go back into an uncoupling system where we have a system with a membrane that allows for two independent movements to happen in the shear plane without breaking bond of the tile.
Wow.
One of the neatest things that we did a few years ago is we came out with our own thin set where we manufactured our own thin set. But for me as an employee for Schluter and a past user of Schluter, I always knew that I had a 10-year warranty no matter what thin set is, as long as it was the proper thin set. One of the neatest things is as we implemented that, we enhanced the warranty to a lifetime if you use our thin set, which creates a full system from thin set to membranes to setting material. But we didn't go and say you had to use our product to get the warranty you got yesterday.
Okay.
That is still completely in effect. You know,
Right.
That's another neat thing about what a system is, or the culture of our company, in all honesty, just like with TraVek and stuff. The longevity of people, the pride in what you do, not just doing it for a job.
Yeah.
But systems are what it's all about. With our shower systems, we start at the drain, and we bring a system, a waterproofing system, up to the shower head height. So when we do that, we're warranted through us, through you and your installers, from the drain to the shower head. That encapsulates the entire shower, and I don't have to invite somebody else to the job site with me to figure out where we're at with it.
Yeah.
Which is always exciting because it keeps things a little bit cleaner.
Yep. Yeah. And we have these community seminars where people can come, and I think you've been.
I was at one, yeah.
And you presented at one of them. One of the things that we talk about there is this seamless process of not handing somebody off to the next person, to the next person, to the next person, where we're playing this game of telephone and things get lost in translation. I think that's one of the benefits of a system.
Absolutely.
And you talking about from the drain all the way up to the shower head, and not having to have somebody else come in and get involved in part of that process for a homeowner, that's huge.
Absolutely.
And then there's confidence there from a warranty standpoint, obviously, that that they don't have to talk to 3 different people to figure out what went wrong if something goes wrong.
You know, my experience in the past, I was a superintendent in the past life, and we implemented a system using the Schluter Systems before this was 2003, 2004, before I even ever worked for Schluter, but we implemented it, and then the builders all jumped on board because they saw the success and the lack of issues. What we don't want are issues. We want to install it once, do it right, and make the homeowner happy and get out of their lives.
Yeah.
Keep everybody moving forward to the next job. And we don't want to go back in 3 months to service it. We want it to last till the homeowner doesn't like it anymore. And guess who they're going to look for? They're going to look for TraVek, and they're going to look for Schluter again at that point because of the success of their last installation.
Well, sure. And the homeowner, obviously we always want to do what's best for the homeowner. And if they don't have to deal with the stress and the heartache of redoing and even having to have a warranty service, they're in a better position all around. So, well, I love that approach.
And you guys have been very responsive with us. Our education is our advertising. You're not going to find us in the magazines. You might find a little blurb here and there.
Sure.
But our advertisement is workshops. There's probably 6 Schluter workshops going in the United States right now with 40 or more people throughout the United States, and it's education on getting yourself. And the nice thing about our education, it's not slinging Schluter 100%. It's industry setting methods and technology. But yes, of course, we show you how Schluter can help at that point. But educating the public, educating the tile installer is what Schluter Systems is all about. Mr. Schluter said it. Our products cannot be sold. They must be understood. I went to my first workshop and I shook my head no for 4 hours. It was a 2.5-day workshop. By the end of day 1, it started making a little sense. And it's kind of funny. I'm actually right now, as I'm talking and explaining this, it really goes back to what Mr. Schluter says about our products, is they can't be sold, they must be understood, because day 1, they were trying to make me understand. By the time I was done with the 2-day class, we came back, we implemented it at a big builder here locally, and I have never looked back on a shower system since then. So it's kind of a cool story.
Yeah, I love that story. And if you would you just say that phrase one more time?
Our products cannot be sold, they must be understood.
This is so powerful because, you're sitting here in a podcast room and we're trying to educate the community, both businesses, homeowners. We're trying to help them understand things. We're not big on having to sell TraVek. We feel like TraVek sells themselves, our products and our quality and all of those things. But we have an initiative at TraVek to be thought leaders in the industry, and we've done a really good job with it, and this is part of that thought leadership, helping people to understand what it is that they don't know. You don't know what you don't know.
100%.
And it sounds like Schluter's, even the founder, that was his thought process from the very beginning.
Well, you're seeing me smile and laugh over here because it's really kind of like a partnership that's meant to be because that is the whole idea of us too. One of our other sayings, profiles in innovation. Everything is about innovation.
Yeah.
Mr. Schluter, when he created our shower system, he went with our drain to the plumbing manufacturers. Said, guys, I got an idea. Do you want in? We would have been with the Otes and the other manufacturers that make the drains of the world, and nobody wanted to play, so he made it himself. But one thing that really shows the man that he is, he did not patent it. And he did not patent it on purpose because he knew it was going to change the tile industry. We now have drains that are very similar to ours, that work very similar to ours. But it was his plan to make the sealed shower system the system of today. Wow. So it's that just tells a lot of who the person and the family are.
Yeah.
This year they got Tile Family of the Year award over in Atlanta, and they came in. On a personal note, I was able to hang out with the Schluter family in Oklahoma this year at our national sales meeting. And they didn't just come and hang out and walk in and out of the meetings. we had different groups, but the groups they were with, every time they were part of the meeting. And it was pretty cool to see that interaction.
Yeah.
And if you're a tile person, the Schluters are kind of pretty famous in the tile industry.
They're royalty to a certain extent.
Correct.
So let's just walk through that, because I'm interested in this. You go to this event. What type of event was it? Was sales?
So it was our national sales
meeting.
And we had not had one in almost 10 years. We've had West Coast, East Coast, but it was our first national again, and they were fully part of it.
So what we see in the tile industry as almost tile royalty, they show up to this meeting, they sit down, I'm assuming they share good conversation, maybe a meal with you, and are just everyday normal people that are willing to rub shoulders and interact with you.
Not just a meal with us. I mean, we had a bowling event with pizza, and they're hanging out with us 100%.
Are they good
personal?
bowlers?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But it was really neat because Mr. Schluter is basically retired, Mr. Werner, and his son Udo is a big, jolly German gentleman. And I walked up to him and I said to him, it was really neat to be able to get the personal interaction with him too. And I said, you know something, Udo? You have now become Mr. Schluter to me, because he's been the head of the company the last couple of years. Mark's a little quieter, the other brother. And I could just see the look on his face that it really meant a lot to him. So in that same week, I was able to bring some customers to a NASCAR event, and Udo and Mark were part of my customer relationship building.
Wow.
And it turned into a project in North Phoenix that we're currently now doing, because Udo and Mark were right there as we were talking to the customer. But that's what we're all about.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, as a territory manager, I am probably 3 or 4 phone calls, emails away from the Schluter family being involved if they needed to be.
That level of connection is so cool.
It's different, yeah.
You don't see it much in the world in general, let alone in our world, in our industry. That is so cool.
Absolutely, it really is, and that's what gives me I'm proud to be a Schluter employee.
I can tell.
Yeah,
I can tell by this conversation that there's a sense of pride. There's a sense of belonging there.
I'm a tile guy. I'm a carpet guy. I'm in this position because that's the people that they want to put and build their company with, is people from the trade.
Yeah. People
that have the experience, people that have seen why things fail or why they don't fail. And we can bring that to the customer at the end of the day.
Absolutely. We talked a little earlier before we got started, and one of the things that you had mentioned that was really important to you was this partnership piece. And so I want to walk down this lane just a little bit. Partnerships for us are huge. We've got strategic partners, we've got referral partners. I put them in 2 different buckets. I can find 1 million referral partners that only send me a handful of referrals over the next few years. Finding those true strategic partners that you can align with, that your morals are the same, your values are the same, and you both work strategically to lift each other's businesses, that's something that's rare. I think that from a perspective of business ownership, and for the business owners that are listening, I would love for you to explain your perspective on partnerships and how, if I'm a new business owner and I'm listening to this podcast right now, what's the one thing that you would share with these folks about partnerships and how that affects a business?
We're open to you. We're open to every one of you. You know, as a manufacturer's rep, my materials are also through distribution partners. I'm not looking to sell to you guys direct or anything like that, but my phone number is at every one of the distribution partners that's on their desk. If the customer walks in there and they have questions, I don't want the distributor to push them away. I want them to call me. Let's get the question answered. Builders, we're going to partner right with the builder. They're still going to get it through their installation company, but we're going to educate the builder. I don't want to just educate the tile guy. I want to educate the builder on what to look for. I want to educate the homeowner on what to look for. So we are very approachable.
Yeah.
If your tile guy needs to call me and ask me a question, he's on a job site right now, I'm not always going to get to my phone, but I'm going to call him back pretty quick, and we're going to try to get that question answered while he's there. We try to take away a little bit of the middleman because we're approachable and we're there, but we still need our middleman in part of the game and everything.
Yeah, of course.
But the neatest thing about Schluter is if you make a phone call the 800 number, you give the zip code where I'm at, it's gonna find me, it's gonna get me. We're not here to hide from anybody. Our website is absolutely amazing. Our education, you can go to schluterevents.com and you can find an education class anywhere in the United States. You can sign up for it. I'll put you in a hotel for a couple nights. We'll feed you and we'll educate you. You just have to get there. But it's about the education.
Yeah.
Just like we talked about earlier, my half day I was not sold. It was 2.5 days of education. By the time I came home, I've never looked back.
Right. So the Schluter partnership piece, it sounds like there's a lot of value there for a business owner that wants to walk down that partnership. If we're talking about partnerships in general, like what is that going to do for a business? What do strong partnerships like Schluter or even other partnerships, what advice can you give to a business owner as far as if I'm starting and I'm pounding the pavement, I'm knocking on doors, I'm trying to sell, what do strong partnerships like a Schluter partnership do for a business?
Well, Schluter's become a pretty well-known name in the industry.
Yeah.
Hasn't been around forever, but it's a long time. I mean, we're 50 years as Schluter Tile or whatever. But what it is retail. We will partner with you and we'll put you on our website. Commercial, I was on a commercial job site yesterday educating the installers on the installation of the showers in the mock-up room. We actually were hands-on with the installation company as we were there with the general contractor, as the owner knew what we were doing also. So we were educating on site on an actual install. That was the mock-up, but to figure out where the issues are, so when the installation starts, and then we'll be back. We won't just walk away from that job. I'm not the supervisor. I'm not going to supervise the job.
Sure.
But we're going to do a monthly walk of the job and just double check things, make sure everything's going smooth. Because quite honestly, we want you to install our products right, or maybe not install them. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but we have so many opportunities to educate yourself.
Yeah.
We have a website, we have an app. You can go to the Schluter app and you can get installation instructions for a shower system right on your phone as you're on the job site if you have questions. And that's
tools
what
out there.
There's many tools out there. Problem is, I'm a guy too, and I build a barbecue grill and it takes me 10 hours to build the first one.
Yeah.
Then I pull out the instructions. The
Yeah.
next one gets done in about 4 hours. By the time I put 10 of them together, I'm getting them done pretty quick.
darn good at
you
it.
know?
Yep.
But that's even the Schluter shower. We're going to educate. We're going to get with you on the first one. You're going to struggle through the second one.
Yeah.
By the time you do the fourth one, you're prepping that shower in about a quarter of the time you're prepping a traditional
Move through
shower.
them pretty quick.
You're taking more time with your family and everything else, or doing extra jobs, however you want to look at it.
Yeah.
But that's what it's all about.
Yeah. That's awesome. I think for every business owner that is in our industry that's doing anything in regards to tile, like we've enjoyed this partnership so much, and I would recommend it for any business owners out there that are looking for a strong partner that offers education, that offers training and hands-on. Tim, you've been awesome in every situation that I've experienced. Now that's one person's experience, but my team says the same thing over and over again. So again, I would recommend that partnership. If you're looking for a difference maker, Schluter can be the difference maker.
Well, and one of the biggest things that is, and I have to address, and it's very important to me, is I was a superintendent that did track home builder stuff. They're the cheapest out there. And I don't mean that in a bad way. They do beautiful homes.
Sure.
We do some beautiful stuff. But it's repetition and it's the dollar that they look for.
Mm-hmm.
There's always this misconception on how much more it is to do a Schluter shower than it is to do a different type of installation on a shower. Quite honestly, leaving distribution, I 100% cost more than doing a shower the other way. But at the end of the day, this costs, the time savings and everything that goes with a Schluter shower system, they really become cost neutral, if not cost positive. And at the end of the day, we're giving you a leak-free, mold-free shower is the great thing.
Yeah, and so I want to touch on that just real quick before we button this up. There's a benefit for the business owner, but there's a significant benefit for the homeowner as well. When their contractor or their TraVek uses Schluter, what's the biggest benefit for a homeowner? Some of these people have never even heard of Schluter. They're used to the traditional way. Why would they want to maybe knock on the door and say, hey, Mr. TraVeks of the world, are you guys using Schluter? Like, why would that be important to them?
Because then they have us behind their product. I mean, that's one of the greatest things. We don't promote ordering things on Amazon and things like that, and items like that. But if you get Schluter products on Amazon and you have a problem, you call our customer service department, we are not going to deny you. We are going to stand behind our products no matter what.
Sure.
If a business happens to be gone, TraVek's got a great history. You guys aren't going anywhere. But if a business happens to be gone and that homeowner knows that a Schluter shower system was installed in their home, they can still reach out to us and we are still going to get that. And we have a field technical manager that will still come do an inspection, determine where the issues are, and if we find it's our problem, we're going to take care of that shower, even if the company that installed the shower is no longer there.
Wow. So there's indefinite peace of mind.
Yeah.
When the Schluter name's tied to it.
And the 800 number, like I said, it's going to get, if my best friend installed your shower and you have an issue with your shower and you call the 800 number, it's going to tell me, it's going to get to me, and I'm going to have to call my best friend and say, Mikey, you really screwed up on this one,
Right.
or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But that's what it is. No, there's no hiding. I don't have any gray areas. We're not private labeled and anything like that. We are Schluter Systems. We're here to help you. Our website, again, is fantastic at schluter.com, www.schluter.com. You can get anything you need off of there. The app for your phone, if you need data sheets or anything like that, if you're a builder and an installer, whatever it may be, you can pull data sheets right up on your phone and email them to your customers, email them to inspectors, whatever it may be on our app. Tools on our website just to help you figure out our heated floors. I know we're in Scottsdale right now.
Yeah, but
our
feels
Dietrich
nice
heated
feet.
floors are still pretty awesome here in Scottsdale. You know,
Yeah.
it's so we just have products to make tile last longer.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, Tim, this has been really fun, and I'm so glad you were able to come on. I hope that you guys enjoyed the education. I know I did. There's a lot of things about tile that I don't know, and there's a lot of things about Schluter that I didn't know, and so appreciate you being here.
I still learn every day. I don't even know everything Schluter yet. I still have to go through my price book and kind of look at things sometimes because we have thousands of SKUs today. So
Awesome.
No, I really enjoyed this also.
Yeah, appreciate you being such a great resource, guys. You know where to find him. He's given his website out one more time. It's www.
Schluter.com.
Okay, pretty
And
easy.
then if you want to get into an education class, schluterevents.com, and it'll pull up a map of the United States and it'll show you where all our classes are at.
Perfect. Again, thank you for being here. Thank all of you for supporting us, wanting to be better educated, wanting to learn from TraVek and from the great guests that we bring onto the show. Our goal is to make sure that the community is educated on everything they need to know before the hammer strikes. And that's why our podcast is called what it is. You don't know what you don't know. And that's why we bring great guests on to be able to educate both us and you guys at large. So thanks again. Please be sure to join us at our next community seminar. We have them once a month. We just finished up our last one and we'll be having another one coming up here soon. So join our website, take a look at what our next event is. We'd love to see you there. Once again, thank you for being a part of this, and we'll see you again next week. Thanks, everybody.